What's up, y'all? It's your girl Wasim, and welcome to another well-awaited episode of What's Up, Wasim? What's up? So, if you don't know, What's Up, Wasim is a podcast centered around growth, but not growth in the way that you think about it, growth in all ways, in your relationship, but mostly in yourself. As a young 22-year-old woman, there's a lot of growth that I need to do. And when I look around at some of the adults in my life, I wonder, how did they end up here? But the truth is, they ended up here by not addressing these issues in their younger life. So I hope that this podcast cultivates growth not only in me, but growth in you guys and us as a generation. Because one day we're going to be old, and we don't want to be that old person stuck in our ways or that old person who's still a hot mess express. We don't want to be that person. So we need to focus on ourselves now and work on ourselves now and have these hard conversations now. So, now that I gave you guys a spiel about What's Up, Wasim, I want to introduce you guys to, I guess, a new segment or a new way that I want to format these episodes. I want to start something that I'm going to call Dear Wasim. I'm calling it Dear Wasim because a lot of these topics and a lot of the conversations that I'm going to be having in this season are going to be ones that are personal to myself. These are going to be conversations that I wish somebody told me when I was younger, or conversations that I wish that somebody told me now, or things that I'm struggling with now, things that I'm overall either dealt with or is currently dealing with. Because I don't ever want you guys to feel like I'm speaking at you guys, or I'm speaking like you guys are, or demonizing you guys and be like, you guys are all terrible, you guys are all this. Because the truth of the matter is, like, I still struggle or have struggled with a lot of these things that I'm talking about. So I want there to be like almost like a level of intimacy between both of us, viewer and me, so that you guys know, like, dang, like, it's not a judge. This is a judgment-free zone, okay? Judgment-free zone. I may be talking at y'all and telling y'all, get it together, but it's no judgment over here, boo, because we are all imperfect. So, like I said, welcome to my new segment called Dear Wasim. So, I know you guys are wondering, what's today's episode going to be about? Today's episode might get you guys in, or I guess you ladies, in a little rumble, okay? You guys may be a little bit upset because I'm going to be talking about us ladies, and today's episode is going to be about why women are the problem, okay? Don't hate me, guys. Don't hate me, okay? Obviously, I am a certified man hater, okay? I hate men with my heart, my soul, and my brain, okay? But at a certain point in my age, at a certain point in my life, and at a certain point in my surroundings, I have to hold us as women accountable. I'm going to be speaking to women because I am a woman. So I understand certain things personally more than I understand a man, because I'll never truly understand a man because I'm not a man, okay? And at the end of the day, I can only control myself. So I hope us as ladies realize that we may not have control over these men, but we can control ourselves, okay? Don't take nothing I'm saying out of context. If you do, it is what it is. I'm just trying to help. But yes, that's pretty much today's episode. So let's jump right into it, because I feel like I'm yapping too much. So when you get on women-centered sides of social media, you keep seeing the same rhetoric. Men ain't crap. Men are terrible. Men suck. And look, like I said, I agree. But at some point, we have to be real about our role in creating and allowing these men to exist. The T app has literally been like the main thing that like inspired this. Okay, I know y'all seen the T app. I be on the T app. I ain't gonna lie. I'm working on being messy. However, I'm still messy. I be on the T app. Okay, so this is kind of what inspired this podcast, if you will, because I'm seeing a lot of the conversations that women are having. I'm seeing a lot of the things that women are saying, and it's starting to make me realize that we can be the problem, okay? And even just being in my relationship and having somebody who I'm blessed to have, like, be so open and honest with me, I'm seeing that a lot of these women are somewhat the problem. Not saying that men aren't the problem. That's a whole nother episode that'll probably be 3 hours long. But again, today I'm talking about us as ladies. So let's get into it. The first reason that I feel as though women are the problem, or I feel as though women are setting themselves back, is that a lot of young women have unrealistic standards. And I do think it's not a fault of our own. I think a lot of the music that we have been listening to in these past couple years is a reason why a lot of these young ladies have these expectations. If we're being real, music does affect people and it does influence people, especially the youth, because our brains are not fully developed. And if we're saying these same mantras over and over and over again, subconsciously, we're going to start to accept those things and we're going to start to believe those things. So we have to be careful about what we're listening to. And unfortunately, we can't control our youth, but I wish that I was careful with some of the stuff that I was listening to as a young Florida girl. Okay. So a lot of women, a lot of us as young ladies, we want men to have big money this early in life. And I'm not saying that we don't want a man to buy us flowers or it's something wrong with wanting your man to take you on a date. But when you expect a man to have six-figure money and pay for your hair and pay for your nails every time you get it and pay for everything, that's when things start to get misconstrued because they're young just like us. And I think that it's very unrealistic for sometimes us as women to set that standard on these men who are trying to build themselves, who are trying to get there, and expect them to take care of us and themselves, because at the end of the day, we're not their daughters. We are their girlfriends. And I do think that stems from not only the music, but probably daddy issues as well. But that's neither here nor there. A lot of women, they say that they want a trick. I want a trick, I want a trick, I want a trick. But when we get to the root of the word tricks is what prostitutes call their the people that are paying them for sex. So I do think that it's setting us back as women calling men tricks, because if they're the tricks, then what are we? Okay. And yes, it may not be as a direct form of prostitution, but it is still a form, because yes, you may have more steps. Yes, it's not, I'm going to give you some money and you know what, you're going to pop it for me. No, but it is, okay, if he paid for my hair, this dude paid for my hair, paid for my nails, paid for my lashes, took me out, did this, we went on a date, and then I gave him sex. There's more steps involved, but it was still the same end result. And that makes me sad, okay? As you guys know, I have formerly worked at the club called Potbellies. Some of the signs that I seen these young ladies write was insane. We had an event that was like somewhat catered towards the like high school seniors that were graduating. And this is when I seen the most raunchy stuff, which I'm not surprised at, because if I'm being honest, me at 18, I was off the chain, fresh out of high school, off the chain. Okay. But the signs that like I seen them bring, like they wanted for their bottles, one of them said, "Money makes me horny." I'm like, ladies. And then another one was like, we love tricks. But the real main one was the "money makes me horny" sign. I think we're setting a damaging precedent to these men, making them think that if they just buy us stuff, then they are deserving of sex. I think that's why a lot of men, we complain and say, oh, like, why do you expect just because you take me on a date that I got to give you coochie? It's because that is what is required for some of these girls. All you got to do is take them on a date, buy them something, and then coochie is coming. So obviously, if that's another thing I want to say, like, if what I'm saying does not apply to you, don't get offended and don't be like, well, that's not me, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking to you. I'm clearly not talking to you. Shout out to you for being like the woman of the year and not doing this stuff. But there are women who do this stuff. So don't get into my comments trying to say, oh, that's not me. That's not all women. I'm not saying it's all women. I'm talking to the women who it is. Just had to preface that. But like I said, the reason why these men have these expectations of I can just take her on a date and you need to give me some coochie is because that's what women in their past have said. That's what women in their past had made them feel like it's acceptable. Like I said, a lot of us as women, there's nothing wrong with wanting something nice. Because if I'm being real, if a man wanted to give me a Birkin bag, I would gladly want the Birkin bag. However, I do want to know what's expected out of that. But I want the Birkin bag. I want the Chanel. I want the whatever, if we're being real. And I'm not faulting for that. I'm faulting us as women for seeking that as like the only thing that matters, or seeking that as something that is the most important. Because if we're being real, ladies, a lot of the men who can do these things right now at 20, 21, 22, 23, they are whores. The men with the hundreds of $1,000s and the NIL checks, they're whores. You want to know why? Because there's thousands of women, hundreds of women, even 10 women, because all men need is 2 women to throw themselves at them when they go in sometimes with they lack discipline. But there is women who are literally throwing themselves at these men and having sex with them and giving them what they want for the chance and the hope of getting tricked on, which 9 times out of 10 doesn't even come. These women are just to say that they are having sex with such and such. I'm having, oh yeah, me and him, we hunching, and me and him are this. Really, like I said, I think it's the hope that like, maybe he will buy me a bag. Maybe he will pay for my hair. Maybe he will, da da da. So I'm going to try to talk to him, and I'm going to put this coochie on him real good, and he might pay for some. Okay. They have hundreds of women who think like that and throw themselves at them like that. So it takes a lot as a man it takes a lot of discipline as a man to turn down a lot of women. And if we're being quite honest, these men in this generation are not there yet. And that's very unfortunate, because I believe that a man without discipline ain't a man, but that's just the truth. So like I said, the type of men that can provide the lifestyle that you want right now at this young age are not mature enough nor disciplined enough to treat you in a way that is really going to matter and affect you, affect your self-esteem, and affect how you view your self-worth. So we have to be careful with what we want sometimes, ladies. Which leads me into my next point about these women who think they're going to pop it for them and put it on them, make them want to marry me. Okay? Another problem I think that women have is that coochie power and pride. Okay, it's too much emphasis on your coochie. Okay, sometimes as women we gotta be real. I be seeing girls tell myself, yeah, my coochie good, it stay wet, it ain't never dry, it ain't blah blah blah. Girl, is that your claim to fame? Like, bro, I'm gonna tell y'all, bro, one day when me and my man was first getting together, like this is like first getting together, like week 1, week 2, okay, like we didn't even really set no precedent yet. I guess, he's falling back from certain girls, and this girl texted him, was like, you can F, and F again. Ain't no girl coochie gonna be better than mine, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's your claim to fame, your coochie? Like, that's your claim to fame? That your coochie is just so good? Like, at a certain point as women, we got to stand up. It's not, no woman is ever going to be as educated as me. No woman is ever going to have, as much moral and dignity as me. No woman is ever going to be as sweet as me. No woman is ever going to be as fly as me. It's no woman is ever going, you can F and F again, and ain't nobody coochie going to be better than mine. At a certain point, if all your value is your coochie, you are putting yourself in a messed up situation, because everybody got a coochie. And if you think that you just got this extraordinary, great coochie that ain't never been cooched before, you're mistaken, boo. Okay, you don't have this, not like you gonna be number one coochie warrior and everybody else is gonna be down here. 9 times out of 10, most of the coochies are the same. Obviously it's different in how it looks, but 9 times out of 10, if you like that man, it's gonna get the same amount of, well, I hate to talk about this, you feel me? But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, your emphasis should not be right here. This should be the least interesting thing about you as a woman. Like, this should be the least interesting thing about you. You should lead with here. You should lead with here. But instead, a lot of times as women, we're leading with here. And that's what is the problem. We're not working on ourselves as a woman. You got all these problems that you have inside yourself that you're not even looking for. It's because at least your coochie good. Got a stank mouth. Got a stank attitude and easily agitated, but your coochie good. Got terrible money management skills. Very insecure, but your coochie good. Like, coochie ain't gonna get you nowhere, boo. But in the bed with a wet, okay? Let's be real, okay? That should not be your personality trait. And I think as young women, because a lot of times in a lot of our songs, we're like, it's good, it's wet, it's good. And you know that I'm taking your man and he from the hood. Like, it's a lot of music like that. And it's like, like I said, I'm telling y'all, it's in the music. That's going to be one of the podcasts. It's in the music. But y'all, I think a lot of times that type of stuff is like taking over us, and like we're like accepting that as like our identity. It does not need to be our identity. And like I said, a good coochie is not going to make a man want to marry you. Like, I know the song is a bop, but it's not going to make a man want to marry you. And if it does make him marry you, it's not going to keep him happy. It's not going to keep you happy. You having good coochie, how is that going to help you get into college? How is that going to help you get that job? Well, I guess it could help you get that job, but not in a way that you should want to get a job. How is it going to help you keep your sanity? How is it going to help you raise your kids? Child. Next. So, the next way that I feel like women can be the problem is that sometimes they have no identity outside of these men, okay? A lot of times I feel like us as women, we get wrapped up in love, and which is not a bad thing, because I do think that it stems a lot of times from being natural nurturers. Us as women, we're naturally nurturers. So it's easy to want to nurture and make everything about being about your man and, that type of stuff. But as young women who have no identity yet within ourselves, I do think that it can be quite dangerous putting such emphasis and like emotions towards my man. And honestly, y'all, I just speak from experience. Me and my man got into it today. Okay, we got into it today about a multitude of reasons, but something that he told me that really stuck with me was stop worrying about me. Worry about yourself. You don't got yourself together. When was the last time you did a podcast? When was the last time you studied for law school? And although the delivery hurt my feelings, the message was there and it's true. I'm so worried about making this man happy. Not saying I need to leave him, but that's the truth. I was so worried about making this man happy and making him okay that I was forgetting myself. And at the end of the day, this man could leave tomorrow. Not saying that my man gonna leave me tomorrow, but he could leave tomorrow. And guess who I'm gonna have to be with at the end of the day? It's me. It's me. And I think sometimes it's when we forget that. We forget that at the end of the day, it's going to be us. When we put our whole identity into a man, you're going to lose a part of yourself. And the truth of the matter is men die before us anyways. So we have to still have some type of strong identity. The truth of the matter is I'm seeing these girls during camp. They're like, oh, my man's gone from 6 to 9 and I just have nothing to do and I'm just sitting at home and I'm just cleaning up and I understand that to a certain degree because, I mean, you used to being around your man. A lot of times you used to be able to spend time with your man. But why wouldn't you use those 8 hours out the day to get a hobby? Go crochet. Go take a pole dance class. Go do Pilates. Why don't you use that time to journal? Why don't you use that time to plan, write out the type of woman that you want to be, write out the goals that you want to have. Your goal in life should not be just to get married, because the truth of the matter is you cannot rely on a man for your happiness because they're human just like you and I. They're going to make mistakes just like you and I. And when you put your full trust in him, the only man that you could put your full trust in that's going to come through all his promises is Jesus Christ himself. If it's not Jesus Christ, boo, he may or may not disappoint you. And you don't ever want to be in a situation where you put all your eggs and everything into this man and he leaves you and now you don't know yourself. Now you don't know yourself. Now you don't have no goals. Now you don't have no aspirations. You don't have nothing that makes you happy because the only thing that was making you happy was that man. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. And that doesn't mean be selfish. That doesn't mean don't, love your man. That don't mean try not to make your man happy. I'm just saying your full focus, your full attention, it should not be on a man. Cause I'm gonna be real. I done been in relationships. I was 12 years old, y'all. And that's another, like I said, a deep dive that we could get into one day. It ain't gonna be today. But I'm a natural nurturer. I'm a natural give my all type of person. And I done gave a lot to men who left with it and left me with nothing. I done gave parts of myself that may or may not ever return. Not every man is going to be your husband, okay? And I think a lot of times we got to realize that. Not every man is going to be your husband. That don't mean don't try, but that means don't put all of you into pleasing this man because they may leave and you don't want them to leave with all of you, boo, and you be left with nothing, okay? So, reason number 4. Am I hooting and hollering in this screen? Y'all might. Okay. Reason number 4 why I feel as though women can be the problem is that we don't have people that hold us accountable. Okay. A lot of women want a yes man. A lot of women want women who have similar mindsets to them because when somebody is challenging you guys get very defensive. You want to be hyped for bad behavior instead of checked for it. For example, you putting your hands on that man. Now, granted, did he cheat on you? Did he do terrible stuff? Is he like off the chain? Yes. But you put your hands on that man. You don't want your friends to be like, friend, that's abusive. Like, you can't just be putting your hands on men. You want someone to be like, yes, girl, whoop him. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop. Like, you want somebody to gas y'all up and give you that level of comfort so that you don't have to deal with those emotions of being wrong. And I don't think that's a women thing. Like I said, men episode coming soon. But I do think that a lot of times as women, sometimes we want somebody to support us versus challenge us. And like, look at Love Island. Like I said, like when people was talking about like how they kind of grew together and all, had the same thoughts and same perspectives on things. And they wasn't really saying like, no, friend, like you was messed up. Like you need to work on that. That's something that I see that's very common in a lot of women friendships. Like there's a lack of people being like, nah, friend, like you was wrong. You need to work on it. They want somebody to be like, you are totally valid for that. Your feelings are so valid. Don't let nobody tell you that your feelings aren't valid. Like, bro, if everybody's feelings is valid, we can't be talking about feelings. We can only talk about actions. Okay. So I think that a lot of times as women, we are so feeling oriented that we don't want to tell our friend like, hey friend, that was messed up, because we don't want to hurt their feelings. Or we are so feeling oriented when somebody tells you like that was messed up. You're like, no, but like, like I felt this way. So that's why I did this and that's why I did that. Or something of that sort. I say all that to say, I think that we're doing ourselves a dishonor And we're doing ourselves dirty by not being checked, because I want a friend to check me. When I'm wrong, I want my friend to say, friend, you was wrong. I have all these feelings of why I did what I did, but I need my friend to tell me, friend, you was wrong. You should have done this. You should have done this differently. And I think, like I said, us as women being so feelings, I think we are almost handicapping our friends by not checking them. So I know I'm yapping, y'all. I got 2 more points. The next point where I feel like women are the problem is that we be in competition with each other. Now, like I said, if this ain't you, don't be in my comments saying it's not you. I don't want to hear it. But we are in competition with other women. And again, the T app really exposed this for me. A lot of times you dealing with this man, and 9 times out of 10, first of all, 9 times out of 10, this man, you ain't posted on this man page. Now, one time this man don't got you nowhere on his page, but the other girl just supposed to know you was his girlfriend. And then you turn around and you get mad at the other girl, and y'all are beefing with each other versus beefing with a man who was lying to both of y'all. That don't make no sense to me, because the truth of the matter is y'all be slick competing. And a lot of times I notice too with women, they will sit up here and try to go to the other woman, not like to bring awareness, but really to get that other woman off their back so they can have their man to themselves. Okay, that's what these girls be doing. But you mad with this other woman who this man is lying to both of y'all. This man is using both of y'all, but y'all mad at each other because y'all are dealing and falling for the same lies that you fell for. And then, y'all, I'm seeing on the T app, girls, like, they find out they talking to the same man. They're like, well, I'm going to F him even harder tonight because blah, blah, blah. What are we talking about? We are losing the plot. So because you found out that he's lying and dealing with another woman, and she found out that he's lying and dealing with you, you going to F him even harder tonight to show her. All you doing is showing this man you got no self-respect and popping coochie. That's the only thing you doing. But yeah, you feel like that's such a dig at her. Yeah, you should have never even came at me. Now I'm going to sit up here and degrade myself even more by going back to a lying, cheating, dirty man who's having sex with both of us raw. That's what I'm going to do. And that's going to show you. Like, we got to be realistic at some point. At some point, we have to be realistic with ourselves. What is that showing? Okay, yes, it may hurt her feelings. It may hurt her feelings in the moment, knowing that, he can't leave you alone. But what about the fact that he can't leave her alone? Has that ever came across your brain? He can't leave both y'all alone. Or is it the fact that y'all can't leave him alone? Is it that? Have we ever stopped to think that maybe it's because y'all can't leave him alone? Is it the fact that every time he calls you, he knows that you're going to answer and pop it? Is it that every time he knows that, like, he's going through something, he can call you and you hot and ready like Little Caesars? But you showing her. I know that got to do something to y'all subconscious. It got to. Knowing that, yeah, I'm going to have sex with this man and I'm going to do this with this man because I know he talking to this girl. He never going to leave her alone, but he never going to leave me alone either. Both y'all dumb. Everybody's dumb. And honestly, that's another thing too. Like, sometimes, y'all, the main chicks don't be the number one girl. They be the number one dummy. And you over here competing to be number one dummy in this man's life. You out here competing with these girls to be the number one dummy who know that he talking to other girls, know that he doing stuff with other girls. Y'all gonna argue, but then you gonna forget him at the end of the day. That don't make no sense. Leave while you ain't got no baby. Leave while you ain't got no STDs. And go on with your life. And that's the reason why these men do what they do, because they know they can talk to 5 different girls and y'all all gonna be beefing with each other instead of beefing with the person who caused all this. Y'all gotta be real. I'm sorry. I'm a little passionate about that one, y'all. I'm sorry. Because it was really pissing me off. Like, I'm sitting here on freaking T-App and I'm seeing y'all girls arguing about the man. Oh, he talking to me too. And that's my man. And blah, 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 blah. He having sex with both of y'all raw. And you mad at her. You gotta be real, bro. Y'all gotta be real. Think about it. If a student cheat on every test, if you as a student, you cheat on every test, cheating on every homework, cheating on every assignment, and your teacher know about it, and she don't even care, she gonna pass you that anyway. She know you cheated. She witnessed you literally on ChatGPT on the test, and she gonna be like, hey, don't do that, and then walk away, and you still gonna get an A. Are you really gonna do the real assignment? Are you really gonna sit up here and actually try to learn and to do the test? No. Even if that means it's going to be a detriment to your education and the next class that you take when the teacher is really strict and don't let you cheat, you ain't going to know nothing because you ain't pay attention in reporting and writing 1. So now reporting and writing 2, they over here talking about stuff that you supposed to be know from reporting and writing 1 and you don't know it because you was cheating. Are you going to think about that? No, you just going to keep cheating so you can get an A. Who cares? Why not? And you wonder why these men won't stop cheating on you. They know that you know. They know that you're going to take them back and it don't matter. They gonna still do it again. Y'all got to be real with yourselves. So honestly, guys, we can go on. Like I said, we can talk about this generation of men all day. Like I said, that episode will be here and it's probably going to be 5 hours long, but that's not the point. But until we stop giving these men access, until we stop giving these men excuses, until we stop giving these men second chances, there's nothing that's going to change. So ladies, look yourselves in the mirror and be real with yourselves. Sometimes we're the problem. Okay? I hate that I had to come at y'all like that. I hate that I had to attack my ladies like that. I hate that I had to do this, y'all, but I gotta be real, y'all. I gotta be real with us. I have to be real with us. Like I said, we can only control ourselves, okay? Hopefully one day men will hold each other accountable, but it ain't looking no time soon. So I'm gonna try to hold us accountable. We got to do better, ladies. We have to do better. You wonder why men ain't sitting here taking us on dates. Why would they have to? Y'all sitting here hunching them for just pulling up at night. Why would they take you on a date? We wonder why men don't court us how they used to. Men don't court us how they did back in the day. Yeah, because back in the day they did have to court you and take you on 20 million dates and really had to get to know you and then got some coochie. Nowadays, all you gotta do is sit up here and say, hey, you up? Coochie popped. Bow. Coochie popped. Just like that. When we wonder why these men doing what they doing, it's because we is allowing it. We wondering why men don't do certain things. It's because they can, bro. I remember when I was a little kid, when I was like in middle school, and my teacher used to be like, "Why buy the milk when you can get? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?" And I used to be like, "Oh, that's dumb. That's dumb." But it really is true. Why would they be taking us on dates when they getting coochie for free? Why would they be sitting here actually putting the effort trying to get to know us when they get coochie for free? The truth of the matter is, and this is something that I wish I really accepted deep in my heart when I was younger, is that men really do just want some coochie. They really do. A lot of these men really just want coochie. And that'd be their main, like, what's the word?
I'm finding it.
It take you that long to find it?
It does.
What's the word, y'all? Motivation. That'd be their main motivation is some coochie. Like, even if it's not here, like consciously, it's subconsciously. Men want some coochie. So when they just get it like this, they don't, it's very much damaging. It's very much damaging to their psyche. We have to start being strict around here, ladies. We have to start being strict. I always say, if women stop popping coochie for 90 days, I think the world would be a better place. I do. I think if all women, I mean, every single last woman stop popping coochie for 90 days, the world would be a better place. That's something that that's a hill I'm willing to die on. I'm gonna be real. That is definitely a hill I'm willing to die on because let's just be real. Like I said, if all women stop popping coochie, all we need is 90 days straight. I don't even think we need a year. Let it be 6 months. These men's gonna be the closest thing to Jesus. They gonna be almost perfect. If all women stop popping coochie for 6 months, 6 months, that's all I need, 6 months, the world would be a better place, y'all. I'm telling you. But the problem is there's always going to be that out of the 100% of women, it's going to be that 10% of dirty, low down, desperate, no self-worth, insecure women that's going to be ready to pop it. And all men need is them 10% of women. And every man going to be lined up to have sex with them, y'all. Every man in the world. They all gonna share that same, that one girl just to get their rocks off. That's the problem, okay? We can never stand together with unity, UNITY. Love a black woman from infinity to infinity. We have to unite. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm going on a ramble. I got a little passionate. I'm sorry, but I'm passionate about this, ladies. We have to get it together, okay? that's pretty much it for the episode, y'all. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that this was entertaining to you guys. I hope that you walked away with something. And again, I cannot emphasize enough that some of these things that I'm talking to y'all about, I struggle with, okay? Trust and believe that. So don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you're a bad person. Remember, this is not me here to demonize you. This is here to motivate you to be a better woman. Okay, ladies? We got this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, play my theme music.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?